Today we're going to do a maintenance video. When I do maintenance videos, I typically do them on the Monday. Today what we're going to do is take a look at two knives and we're going to put some conditioner on it to improve the looks of them and give a little bit of protection. The first knife we're going to do is this Taylor's Eyewitness, which was a gift from Jersey Knife Guy. The wood covers are just plain, there's nothing on them, so we're going to put a protective finish on it, and we'll use the conditioner to oil the wood and to give it just maybe a little bit of sheen. Then we're also going to put a coat on this Vosteed nightshade on these Micarta scales. You can see how they're a little bit white in here, so it'll darken them up and just give them a little bit better look. So let's start with this Taylor's Eyewitness. I'm just going to rub some on the wood. I'll rub it in with my fingers. And we'll do the other side. We're going to let that soak in a little bit. Just rub this excess into my hands. I want to take this pocket clip off. I have a video coming out. These two knives will be in the video for tomorrow. One thing I didn't mention was this pocket clip. It is both recessed into the covers and the screws are countersunk. So this pocket clip sits closer to the knife than a typical pocket clip. It doesn't stick out as much. It also has a gentle curve down here where it goes over your pocket. It still has enough that it has no problem going over the lip of your pocket. But as a result, when you squeeze this knife, the pocket clip does not create a hot spot. This is very comfortable. I wish more companies would do this. Some companies do the inset. Very few do the recessed screws. So this is just a really nice combination, and this is a titanium pocket clip. This uses T6 screws. This knife is right hand carry only. Okay, so let's rub a little bit on the micarta. We'll do the other side. A lot is soaked into this wood, so we'll put a little bit more on. This wood felt pretty dry. It both looked and felt dry. So we want to give it a little bit of protection and enhance the looks. I'm going to put both these knives underneath just a light bulb. I have a lamp in here that's got a incandescent bulb on it that puts out a little bit of heat. While I'm waiting for the conditioner to soak into the two knives, let's go ahead and put a little bit on this leather. This is pre-finished and waxed leather. So this, not too much of this is going to soak in, but some will, and it'll enhance it somewhat. What I'm going to do is coat it really good. And I'm going to go set this underneath the lamp with the two knives. And here's the two knives in the leather slip sitting underneath of the light. So we can get some heat on there and the conditioner will soak in. Okay, everything got nice and toasty warm underneath the lamp. So I'm going to see if just a little bit more will soak into this leather. Well, it's still nice and warm. Let that sit for just a minute. Let's go to the knife. That's just as it came out from under the lamp, and this is quite warm. Let's give it a buffing. All right, let's see what we have. The wood doesn't look so dry anymore. There's just a little bit of a satin sheen to it now, if I get it in the light. So that's definitely an improvement in how the knife looks, and that'll give it some extra protection and keep the wood in nice shape. Now let's take a look at the Vastid. Still a little bit left on the surface, but most of it has soaked in quite nice. So let's give this one a buffing. Get some out of the recess for the clip. Okay, and that's what the Micarta looks like. You don't see so much white in it anymore. It's got a nice, even, dark black look to it now. So let's go reinstall the clip. These sometimes can be a little bit of a pain. Okay. Now let's buff the slip. This stuff is oil tan leather, not veg tan. So it doesn't soak in things as much. It comes almost sealed on the outside. But some did soak in with that, with the lamp, with the heat from the light bulb. So I think that looks pretty good. And then this knife is ready to go back in the slip. And this Vastid can go back in my pocket. This is just such a nice knife. Now this video was made after 2 for Tuesday, which is coming out tomorrow. So I've had a couple more days pocket time with this knife. And I've done some work with it. I've cut up a bunch of cardboard, just done general utility stuff. And I love this knife. This drop in the blade really does work well. utility cutting. It puts that point right down there, and it is great for slicing and cutting, as it does trap material on this inner part of the blade. The blade's not so likely to slip off of something. It works well. This wide blade lets you come up here and get a pinch grip on it if you just need to do some fine work with the tip. And this is also, it's about 15 thousandths behind the edge. So it's thin enough to be an excellent slicer, especially with this tall, full flat grind. It slices really, really good. But 15 thousandths is also thick enough to be nice and tough. So this isn't a blade you have to worry about, breaking the edge because it's ground so thin. Which is one of the reasons why a few weeks ago I made the video on selling some of the Jack Wolf knives, because that steel was just ground too thin behind the edge to be a usable cutter for me. It's not that I'm doing stuff on a daily basis, it's super difficult, but that thin blade will not stand up to the type of use that I do. I know, because I've used blades that are that thin before, and they bend. The edge actually gets warps in it, the tips bend or break. It's just not good enough. This comes in at just the right spot. It's a sweet spot. Like I said, about 15 thousandths behind the edge. And that's perfect for a EDC knife that's ready for any task that you want to do. It has enough strength, but it also is thin enough to be an excellent slicer. Okay, I have one more thing to do to this knife. I had been cutting quite a bit of cardboard, and I did get some gunk on the blade. Not too much. It had a lot more gunk on it before, but I cut so much cardboard, it actually wiped most of it off. Right here is about the remaining sticky stuff that will not just wipe off. So what I'm going to do is use some of this pivot lube. This is a mineral oil based pivot lube that I came up with. This is a ultralight formula. So this is great for cleaning out the pivots on slip joints. Just going to put a little on there and wipe it around on the blade. I'm going to take a rag and wipe this off. And I found this stuff is great for cleaning. As you can see, that blade is now perfectly clean, and that was really easy to do. That mineral oil really cuts sticky stuff and gunk and takes it right off. Put a little bit on this side of the blade. Spread it out. And wipe it off, with a little bit of pressure. Okay, and here's the side of the blade. So there's no more residue on here from cutting that cardboard, and the cleaner is also food safe. So if I use this knife to cut up my lunch now, I don't have to worry about what kind of chemicals are still on the blade. There's no problem cutting a sandwich, spreading butter or mayonnaise, whatever you need to do. Cutting up meat, no problem at all. This is all food grade products. Just like the conditioner. I'm going to make this leather conditioner available in a 2-ounce tin. It's actually a little over 2 ounces. This is just a great way to package it. I really like this type of container. And once you're done with this tin, it's reusable. So there are a lot of things you could do with this. You could make a nice little fire kit using this tin, fishing kit, just tons of things that you can do with that tin. We'll see you on the next one.